Taehyung stood at the edge of the terrace, the cool night air enveloping him as he tried to collect his thoughts. The sight of his ex girlfriend at the business party had been a shock to his system. Reopening wounds he thought he had healed. He closed his eyes, trying to push away the memories of their failed relationship. As he stood there, lost in his thoughts, he heard footsteps approaching him. Opening his eyes, he saw his secretary, Vian, standing beside him in the moonlight. She looked at him with concern in her eyes, silently offering her support. Taehyung glanced at her for a second before turning his gaze back to the city skyline. She hesitated for a moment before speaking. Sir, are you okay? Taehyung had always been known as the rude and cold hearted human. He never showed his emotions to anyone. This was something he's been doing since childhood. It was different with his ex. He tried acting sweet with her just to get dumped in the end. The wound was too deep for him. He sagged before nodding his head, not making eye contact. You're not okay, she said, furrowing her brows and tilting her head a little. Taehyung glanced at her for a second. Then why did you even ask? He rolled his eyes. No, I mean, I saw you looking at Mr. Huang's fiancée and then you suddenly left. Young frowned. Fiancée? I thought she was his PA or something. He felt as if someone had stabbed his heart a million times. She was. Then they fell in love and will get married in a few months, Ryan said, smiling a little. I see. Taehyung looked down, his voice cold, but eyes showing hurt and vulnerability. Ryan was quick to understand the situation. Was she your ex? She carefully asked. They was a bit caught off guard by the sudden question, but he managed to maintain his calm and hummed in response. It's been years. She's been working with him, so he knew he could trust her. Ryan stayed silent for a while, not knowing what to say, as it was his personal matter, but she felt sympathetic for him. Cry a river, build a bridge, and get over it, she finally said, making him chuckle sadly. Easier said than done. It's hard to move on. He gulped the lump forming in his throat. Ryan smiled. Moving on is easy. She searched through her purse and found a handkerchief that had the price tag on. Taehyung watched her curiously. Actually, moving on is as easy as this. She took the tag and tore it away from the handkerchief. After keeping the stuff back in her purse, she looked at him. It's easy. That's why she was able to do it and leave. And the one that is left behind, this option might never be for them because the feelings were too deep. You have to hang in there. It's your mess. You'll have to clean it up. Ryan smiled at him, extending her hand for him to hold. It'll only take a week to make you realize. So come on, let's clean it up together. She asked, and Taehyung was hesitant at first, but then again, how long was he going to hold the past? Ryan was right. Maybe it's not the one who left. Maybe it's he himself who doesn't want to move on. It took him a minute to finally sigh and hold Ryan's hand. Let's do it. First of all, remember the things that they did, not the memories. She spoke. As they walked somewhere at 6 in the morning, Ryan had asked him to be ready at 5:30 as she wanted to take him somewhere. They listened intently and nodded, because memories were with the person who he or she was, not who he or she is right now. They stopped at a place, a secluded spot beside a shimmering lake. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and the sound of bird song filled the air. Squirrels scurried along the ground, and butterflies flitted from flower to flower. Taehyung's eyes widened in wonder as he took in the beauty around him. Ryan smiled, knowing that this was exactly what he needed to help him heal. Let's take a walk, she said, leading him along the widening path that meandered through the trees. The soft crunch of gravel beneath their feet was the only sound as they walked. As they reached a clearing by the water's edge, Ryan turned to Taehyung. I want you to close your eyes and just listen, she said softly. Taehyung did as he was told, his heart pounding in his chest. The sound of nature surrounded him. The gentle lapping of the water against the shore, the rustle of leaves in the breeze, the chirping of birds in the trees. Now open your eyes, Ryan whispered. Taehyung's eyes flew open and he gazed at the sight before him. The lake stretched out before them. Its surface like a mirror reflecting the beauty of the sky above. The colors were breathtaking. A symphony of pink and orange with purple that danced across the water. It's beautiful, Taehyung breathed, his voice filled with awe. Ryan smiled and squeezed his shoulder. This is a place of healing, she said. I come here whenever I'm sad. You can come here too when you need some alone time or maybe peace. Taehyung nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. I will surely. Van sat on the grass, patting the place beside her silently, asking him to sit. He sat down beside her, enjoying the view. If you don't mind me asking, what actually happened between you two? She asked. Taehyung took a moment to respond. We we were really happy with each other, but then suddenly one day she changed. Not replying to my texts or calls, making excuses whenever I asked her to meet. Then the day came, she broke ties, said I deserve better, and she wants to focus on her career. Wine listened attentively as Taehyung opened up about the breakup, recounting the scenes that day and the growing distance between them. She could see the pain etched on his face as he spoke. And she reached out to wipe away a tear that had escaped down his cheek. He cried and let out the pain he was holding in his heart. The calming voice of birds and the water in the lake only encouraged his tears to fall. Showing his emotions for the first time, he felt light. His heart, that was heavy with emotions, finally felt at peace. Sometimes all we need is a listener who can listen to our problems without unnecessarily giving solutions or making us feel not listened to. So the day one taught us go to a private place and let it all out. Cry, scream, but just don't keep it inside you.